I guess I grew up in a really loving household. I had a great childhood. I had just all the love in the world. Everything was pretty good for me, and for some reason it was like I want to rebel. I want to do my own thing, even though things were so great. And you can learn to kind of, I don't know, take it for granted. And so I think that's the exact same thing, just like growing up knowing Jesus and knowing who he was and his love for me was just like growing up knowing my parents and knowing their love for me. So it really, I hate to say, it just really didn't seem like anything all that special. Life just happened, man, and I started slipping away. I started getting into the wrong crowds at school. They were all doing, you know, I think it probably just started out smoking cigarettes or whatever, but eventually it led to smoking pot, and it got, from there, it just tumbled, and it was fun. It was so fun for a long time. I mean, I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't fun. Get going, hanging out with my friends and getting high and like sneaking around, and but I think it was all just to cover up, man. I was in pain. I think it was all definitely a subconscious game, because on the surface, all it was for me, really thinking about it, was just, I mean, I guess the devil was deceiving me into thinking, you know, this is alright, I'm just having fun, this isn't gonna hurt me, this is nothing. And it was just basically self-medication, you know, and it just progressed and progressed. You know, I started, you know, taking pills, snorting different stuff, and you know, it really was just a downward spiral. And I can see now, looking back, that these drugs and all that stuff is just, it's just a complete deception. It's just a lie. It's just a copycat. It's like, it's the counterfeit for a true experience with God. I can remember vividly being in this disgusting one-bedroom apartment. I was so lonely, I thought it would be helpful, it would help me out if I picked up a stray cat for some reason. And that cat had fleas, and fleas were in the carpet and the blankets and my couch. I had a couch, I didn't even have a bed. And I was sitting in there completely trashed. Just vomiting and vomiting on myself, on my couch. Fleas biting me all over. All my friends had left me, all the drugs had run out. And I was just in the worst state I could possibly be in. And that's when you really have to face, like, man, who am I? What am I doing with my life? Why am I here in this disgusting apartment? Why am I 4 days unwashed? My hair is disgusting, I stink, and I've got puke all over me. But I called my dad and I asked him, I was like, Dad, you gotta get me out of this, I need help. We searched for a program, and I found one where I could stay home and go every day to this place. And no, even that didn't work. Like I said, I might have stayed clean for a couple days, but it's just, when you're in the grip of that addiction, it's impossible. So I have to find ways to like get the drugs out of my system. So I have to go to the harder drugs that only stay in your system for 3 days or whatever, and like it just becomes this vicious cycle to the point where now I'm using needles, shooting drugs in between my toes so that my parents won't see track marks on my arms, and telling people I'm clean and almost actually believing it because I'm partially functioning. I'm just yelling, I'm cussing my family out, I'm going and stealing more and more money every day and destroying my relationship with my girlfriend and neglecting my daughter, trying to kill myself with all sorts of concoctions of drugs, like after my parents would fall asleep. Thinking about it, just like, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain connected to the things I did and who I was. My dad's like, man, you got a problem. we're taking you to Teen Challenge. You're going away. You need help. The hardest thing I ever had to do. The whole program was based around Jesus, and every day we woke up and early, and we had to read our Bible, and we had to write about what we read and what we thought about it. And then finally, when I came to a place where I could surrender and listen and do what I was told, then I started praying. I started really seeking God's face, and it was kind of weird. Like, I was hoping for this crazy experience at a church where the Holy Spirit just came on me and I felt the chills, and you know, like, I just broke down crying, and it was just this huge thing. Man, I need Jesus. I'm not gonna do it without. I'm not gonna be able to do it without Him. He's the only thing that's gonna restore me to sanity. So I kept seeking Him. I kept seeking Him, and it was probably for 2 months, like every single day, just praying and crying out, God, where are you? Where are you? That finally, you know, through different situations and stuff, I started to see where His hand was in all these different places in my life, that He was restoring my girlfriend to me, my daughter. They surprised me. My daughter got to come and see me on a visit, and I was like, man, God is so real, because there's no way other than with God's help and me trying to do the right thing that I would ever be able to see her again after the things that I had done. And that's when I started getting into this groove. Like, I started seeing God. He started revealing Himself to me. I was praying for wisdom. I was praying for revelation, and I was getting it now. And, you know, I'm starting to understand, like, wow, this is who God is. This is who God is. My God is real. He's powerful. He loves me. And I mean, man, it was awesome when I just decided, when I really found my God, like who God is to me, not who God is to my parents, this God that I've been told exists. That's when it becomes real to you, you know. That's when God really, when He reveals Himself to you in that way, it's true. You're never the same once you encounter God in a real, relevant way. You're never the same. And I'm not the same, you know. Like, I'm seeking God every day, and I'm still pushing forward. God is real, and He can, man, He's the great physician. He is the God of restoration, and He's fixing me, man. But I know that I am completely, 100% a different person than I was. My name is Matthew Jaffe, and I am a new creation.
Holy Spirit hovering over the deep, speak out your light and let it flood into me. Whisper the words that cause creation to form. I'm searching for a light that hasn't been there before. Speak light into the darkness. Speak life into my lungs. Fill my soul as deep as the ocean. I'm searching for your love, and all that I can do is give it back to you. You've taken my old skin and you made me new again. Now all that I can do is give it back to you. You've taken my old skin and you made me new again. Yeah, you have made me new, a new creation, a new creation. Holy Spirit hovering over the deep, bring out the colors that my heart's yet to see. Nights on fire for the warmth of your love, and every hour there's another sun. Bring light into the darkness. Breathe life into my lungs. Fill my soul as deep as the ocean. I'm reaching for your love, and all that I can do is give it back to you. You've taken my old skin and you made me new again. Now all that I can do is give it back to you. You've taken my old skin and you made me new again. Yeah, you have made me new, a new creation, a new creation, brand new, a new creation, all new, a new creation. I'm a new creation. You have made me new, and I will praise you, God. You've taken my old skin and you've made me new again. And I am no longer who I was. You've taken my old self, you made me new. And I am no longer a slave to sin, Lord. I am a slave to you. You have made me new. You have made me new.
Guys, look, that right there is what it's all about. Look, I sat down with him, and he told me his whole story, and there was so much more to it that we couldn't fit in the video. But man, it was a new creation, because when we actually filmed that at a location that he has a history with. But as he was talking about everything he did, it was just so intense. And then when he started talking about who God is in his life now and how he's a new creation, man, in that interview, it was just, he started brightening up. He got a smile on his face. Some of you guys need to smile. So here's what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do our altar call. One of the adult leaders back there is going to bring me an empty trash can up here. And that card that you have, look, some of the things that you deal with is you've dealt with feeling ugly. Some of you've dealt with feeling a failure. Some of you've dealt with abandonment because your family or your parents or somebody have just run out on you.